Hi, parents. I know that you just got a document on Friday night, really late, from Stratford's curriculum office and home office. And this document you probably have never seen before. And actually, Friday night was the first time I saw it. I took a little bit of time and I went through the lesson plan. So, this is what their version of a lesson plan for parents would look like. It seems like a lot. And there's a lot written on here. And actually, when I printed it out, it was 16 pages for this week. But I'm going to walk you through it really quickly, and it's not as bad as you think because as a class, we are kind of ahead of the game in some of the work. So this first week as we're testing out this new lesson plan, it'll actually work well for our group. Okay, so I have it on my whiteboard here, and when you printed this out, being in color is definitely helpful. You don't have to, but the way they laid it out was there are three main components, as you can see in the top. There's literacy foundations, content-based literacy, and mathematics and reasoning. When you go through this, you're going to notice that they've cut some subjects out. I don't know if they're going to plan on putting it back in. Some things we started already, and I might just keep those going just because the kids can do it independently on their own. For example, grammar. Okay, but let's go through this. And this week will be nice because we kind of already did some of this stuff. Okay, I'll go through the day for Monday, and then you'll see what the layout looks like. I'm probably not going to go through every single day for this week, but I'll go through Monday so you can kind of see how the color coordination works with these three top foundations that they've laid out. So spelling, phonics, and vocabulary. If you notice, this was last week's words. We actually already finished it. So this week I am not putting spelling on our lessons for our weekly to do. So the kids are not going to have a spelling test this Friday, which will be good for them. They can take a break from it. I don't know what happened to went all the way down to the end. Okay, here I am back here. So if you look next week, when you get this plan again on Friday night, you're going to have a whole new list of words. We already did the OW sounds, so I am going to skip over the phonics piece of it. When it comes back and we have a new list for next week, I'll go through that piece of it. So if you scroll down, and my sheet looks like this is a continuation of spelling. We already did page 153, so we are not going to do that this week. I am going to cross this out, and you can cross this out spelling on your list. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to cross that out on mine. Okay, it's a little weird, I know, looking at it this way, but if you keep going down on that peach column, you're going to see reading, Midnight on the Moon, 30 minutes, objectives and learning. Great thing is we already finished Midnight on the Moon. I think some classes, everybody's on a different time schedule. They were trying to pick the best moment in time where everybody was at the same place. So we're ahead of the game here. We're going to cross out Midnight on the Moon. So anything related to Midnight on the Moon, that book, we've already taken the quiz. We are done with it. No need to do anything for midnight. So here I am. I'm going to cross all of midnight. Actually, anytime you see midnight, you're just going to cross it out. Okay. Okay, going up back to the yellow form, I'm going in. I know I'm hopping around. It's really difficult to see, but I'm going into science. Okay, the timeline for us, I'm going to make science Tuesday and Thursday this week. Stratford has it Monday, Wednesday. But I am going to go ahead and for our class, put it on Tuesday. So you don't have to worry about science for Monday, but we are starting the habitat unit. On this sheet, they're going to be talking about what a habitat is and what it provides for an animal. If you look on this shared document that Stratford sent out, anytime that you see these blue links, if you click on it and control click, it'll take you to a link that Stratford has created. So there are lessons attached to those blue links. Sometimes I've attached it to, I'm going to try to attach them to our Google Classroom as much as I can. And for the sake of keeping it simple, on the homework sheet that we use for room 23, I'll try to embed it as well. I know the kids don't use the embedded links on the homework sheet. So if you have this sheet open for them, I would sit down with them and show them how to control click. I know this sheet is not first grade friendly. The way they laid out this lesson plan is definitely a parent lesson. And there would be times where you won't be able to sit down with your student. So that's why I'm going to try to get them all onto Google Classroom and they can do it themselves there. But if you are sitting next to them, okay, those blue links send you to a new site and it'll be a supported lesson that goes along with today's objectives. So this recording is going to be a video about what a habitat is. Okay, so the assignment, and you'll notice on the assignment parts of it, they're going to have two options. Now, I went ahead and I just wrote on our homework sheet that they're just going to do option 1. They're going to draw and label their habitat, and then they're going to go ahead and watch the video and see if they know what a habitat should have and the components that an animal would need. They're going to go ahead and draw whatever animal or themselves, up to them, and what they need, and then go ahead and write their name on that picture that they've drawn. And here's the biggest key things in these lesson plans. Anytime you see submit your work to your teacher for feedback, or on my homework sheet it says submit, that's when you're going to take a picture, scan that to your phone, and then you're going to turn it in your student's Google folder. So last week on our conference chat, I talked about setting up a folder for each student where you can drop in their completed work. So anytime you see this in red, submit your work to your teacher for feedback, that's where you're going to write, you're going to drop that completed work in. Very, very important. Please put your student's name, no last name needed, on the name of that file, whatever you are turning in. Just make sure you put your name and then whatever subject it is. You can write, Miss Bayani, or if I was a student, you would write Zoe / science, math. So I kind of already know before I even open that document what the subject will be. It's going to be a lot in each of those individual folders to go through. So if you can just help me out, put your student's name on that file. Okay, so going through this day we're still on Monday. Believe it or not, we're still on Monday. Okay, I'm going to go back and to this first page. I think for Monday, it was 3 pages long. Okay, so I don't see anything else for habitats. That was just the assignment so far. And then for green, mathematics and reasoning. Okay, Saxon lesson 107. We are on track with Stratford here. Pretty simple. There's a video that you can right-click. It's going to be about quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. I will do the lesson, the guided class practice, and I will upload that video. If you notice here in step 2, develop. Okay, I'm going to circle this part. You can click on this, teaching aid part 1, teaching aid part 2. Now, when I teach Saxon in the classroom, the teacher guide is like 6 or 7 pages long. It's very, very detailed. Saxon is designed for classroom use of math that could take up to 3 or 4 hours just teaching math per day. We don't teach 3 to 4 hours of Saxon math per day. Okay, that's just one lesson. So Stratford gave you just a snapshot of what just a piece of that lesson. You can look at that. You don't even have to. I will do the lesson with the kids. If you're really interested, you can definitely click on either one of those and you can read it and then help your student. I am going to pull from it and then do a very concise lesson on that. I am not going to upload a 3-hour Saxon video. And you probably wouldn't want that as well. Actually, you might. Okay. So same thing, complete fact practice 107A and 107A for the guided sheet. Again, I am not going to do the fact practice with them. They're very capable of doing that on their own. Their guided is what I will do. I will do A side and upload that on video. You will have to have them independently complete 107B, so pretty much just like class. B side is homework. You will take pictures and submit B side. For math, it's always going to be B-side submission, okay, and drop that file into the your student's Drive folder. You would probably label it student's name hyphen 107B, okay? Super simple. You don't even have to put math. If you put 107B or 108B, 109B, I'll know it's Saxon right away. All right. And if you look here, they have this step 4 called extension for math, okay? This extension is optional. They went through, and Khan Academy has some great videos regarding math, and that is an extension the students can watch. This I will put on when I onto our Google Classroom as much as I can. It is not mandatory, but it is something interesting if they do have, well, they probably have plenty of time, so they can watch that. Okay, if you notice, it is very concise for the day. The subject material is not. We actually don't have reading or math this week. I'm sorry, reading or spelling this week as a class, so we're fine. For reading, I'm going to ask them to go ahead and do Raz Kids on their own, okay? That's gonna be on my assignment sheet for the week. I am creating the same homework sheet style for this week. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to keep that up. I'm trying to do it as much more of a concise way for you guys to see what's going on for the week, and that's what we're used to. You're not used to seeing this lesson plan, and I know that. Okay, I'm gonna go to Tuesday really quick just to show you what Tuesday would look like and how it changes from history. Okay, again here, you're gonna see spelling come up, and again, we don't have spelling this week. There are Brain Pops videos embedded. You can have your kids watch that there. The big difference is, okay, new lesson, it's okay, 108. Saxon Math Lesson 108. And then for, I think they have history on Tuesday. I have history on Monday. We are going to catch up and there was a lot going on Friday, so we will talk about lesson 2 on Monday's work, and I'll walk them through a read along for that. And for, let's see, here it is. Colonies Unite. We're going to start Colonies Unite on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. If you look at the descriptions, so here it is. Chapter 3, the colonies unite, okay? Again, they tell you, they put a link to the reader, but you guys already have your books. There's a Liberty Kids episode, and if they watched the Boston Tea Party from last Friday, Liberty Kids is a really great resource Stratford is using to teach the 13 colonies in the American Revolution. Okay, so there is a letter, in your history packet, there is an assignment there. It's a letter to King George, or it's just a simple comprehension question of why were the colonists upset with King George. And you can, that's the assignment for on Wednesday. Okay, so that'll tell you to submit and submit that a picture of that and put that in your students' Google folder. Okay, so the rest of it is very similar format. Okay, so here is, I'm gonna go into day 3. And the crazy thing is they labeled it week 1, which makes it even more confusing because technically in the school week, it is week 29, March 23rd to the 27th. I am still calling it week 29. Going back to week 1, it just throws, it just throws a kink in it. I don't understand why they went back to week 1, but don't worry, we're okay. Inside here, you will notice that it goes, they have habitats again. So habitats this week is pretty simple. It's just what is a habitat? And on the lesson plan, we are also going to talk about the Arctic. Okay, so there's a Brain Pop video I will assign in Brain Pop. Here it is. If you click on this link and your student is not signed into their Google Classroom or their email, it's going to ask them to do that outside of it. So make sure you're logged into your student's Google account before you go in and connect. And you can even just search Arctic habitats, but I will attach the Arctic habitats lesson to the Brain Pop in our classroom. Okay, and then the assignment here is I made it simple and just did option 1, choose one animal that lives in the Arctic habitat, describe how it survives on this worksheet. This has already been uploaded to Google Classroom. You can also click on this link and you can print that out straight from this document, okay? Now, big difference is, I'm gonna scroll all the way down to Friday. They are not having us, it looks like Friday we are supposed to take, if this was the classroom, we should have been taking the next Saxon test that you have already in your packet, but they are not taking Saxon tests. As far as, I'm going to clarify with the team, but it looks like the Saxon math tests are not being given. If you look here, your last day on Friday, mathematics, it just goes straight into Saxon lesson 111, which is different from my class plan. I am going to clarify why they haven't, why they're not giving the math test. but I'm going to follow what they have here. So in your very organized weekly Saxon math packets, the best way to do it is to probably staple all those packets that I made for you into one big packet, and that way the weeks won't confuse the students if they're working independently. Okay, so again, anytime you see Midnight on the Moon for this week's lesson, cross it out. We are not using the Midnight on the Moon packet that they gave us. I did pull some from there, but we are done with that, so no more Midnight on the Moon. No, we are not starting Kay and Martez this week, unfortunately. I told the kids that we were going to, but that was before I knew that Saxon did not catch up yet. Stratford did not catch up yet with Kay and Martez. So more to come on that next week. So Raz Kids for reading. All right, if there's any questions that you may have, please shoot me an email or hop onto your students one-on-one chat this week, and I can answer it when you're live and speaking to me in person. All right, I hope that was helpful. I know it's a lot, 16 pages. I was extremely overwhelmed, but you guys will be fine. It was not as bad. At least it's a good way to ease into the new format. Okay, have a great week. I will talk to you soon.